Hello, everyone. It's the coach. Welcome to EA Sports coverage of the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl from right here in Orlando, Florida. Coming up, the AFC looking to make it 3 in a row as they square off against their rivals from the NFC. I'll be back at halftime, but first, let's get you downtown to Camping World Stadium. Standing by our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Straight ahead, bragging rights on the line in the 46th meeting of the AFC and the NFC in the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl game. As always, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, Rams and Patriots still a week away. We'll touch on that later. But as Coach said, the AFC coming in here on a 2-game win streak.
And I love the fact that it's back to AFC versus NFC. We had that little time frame with captain's picks, and there was no side. I didn't like that. So let's see if the NFC can get into it. Drew Brees will be their starting quarterback. Probably a little perturbed about how his season ended. And Patrick Mahomes from Kansas City, what a second season for that youngster.
Excitement? Well, we got that in abundance as this Pro Bowl is underway from Orlando, Florida. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The NFC offense taking the field, being led in blue by the NFL's all-time passing leader. 12th Pro Bowl nomination for the great QB from New Orleans, Drew Brees.
And you and I both know that this is not easy for him. It's fun to play football at any time, but you know he'd rather be preparing for the Super Bowl and still trying to get that missed call out of his head that may have prevented his Saints from getting there.
Ready. Yellow weighty, yellow weighty. 2. Slam, slam, slam. 20 seconds.
This is the Rams' Todd Gurley, his 3rd Pro Bowl in 4 seasons. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down. Starters for the NFC across the O-line. It's Tyron Smith of Dallas at left tackle, Brandon Brooks of the Eagles at left guard. You got Alex Mack, the center of the Falcons. Another Cowboy, Zach Martin at right guard, and then Teron Armstead of the Saints holding down the right side. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now the New York Giants star playing in the Pro Bowl as a rookie, Saquon Barkley. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Ready. Yellow weighty, yellow weighty.
Working from the gun, it's Brees. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. Brees to his Saints teammate Thomas for the NFC first. For Drew Brees, this his 12th Pro Bowl nomination, though he hasn't played all 12 years, but still, what a career and what a season. And to do it at this age, unbelievable.
Not too bad for a guy who turned 40 the week leading up to the NFC Championship game. He keeps himself in such superb physical condition and still loves everything that goes along with football. He may play till he's 60.
On 1st down, it's Gurley. To the 40 and no further. The razzle-dazzle, though, got him a couple extra on the play. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Next, the receivers helped spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, it's Brees. And that will be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep for the AFC, the Jets' Andre Roberts. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. The AFC heading out on offense, and leading him is number 15 from the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, in his first ever Pro Bowl.
Get your tux, get your best suit. Let's head to the red carpet. NFL Honors is coming up, and he will be the heavy favorite to be the NFL MVP. And let's face it, we'll see him here at the Pro Bowl many times to come in future years.
Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. A first-time Pro Bowler. Here's James Conner of the Steelers. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4. The starting unit for the AFC, definite Pittsburgh connection on that offensive line. 3 Steelers in Villanueva, Pouncey, and DeCastro. Also in that starting group, Quentin Nelson, the rookie from Indy at left guard, and the Titans' Taylor Lewan, selected to his 3rd straight Pro Bowl at right tackle. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. On 2nd down, Conner looking for space. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Starters defensively for the NFC, they have 9 guys with Pro Bowl experience. The 2 rookies, while they're in the secondary, both of the Chicago Bears. Kyle Fuller at corner, Eddie Jackson, the free safety. They join a 3-timer in the Eagles, Malcolm Jenkins, and an 8-time Pro Bowler in Patrick Peterson of Arizona. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And it's complete to Kelsey. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Might want to remember that 3rd down play, 37 yards. For Patrick Mahomes, what a season he had. First as a full-time starter, and he goes over 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, and rewarded with his first Pro Bowl.
And think about if you're in Kansas City, the organization, the team, the city, how well are you set up for future years with that youngster as your quarterback? Not only are the guys on the team excited about it, think about free agents thinking about where they might want to play. If you're a free agent receiver, you're thinking Kansas City.
Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Throwing now is Mahomes. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
So on is Jason Myers. He's hit from as long as 58 in his career. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denying 3 points at the very end. All things considered, a pretty good kick, just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck, and unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
The offense for the NFC back out there. Well, we can continue to talk Pro Bowl as we go along, but let's talk a little Super Bowl. Super Bowl 53, 1 week from today over in Atlanta, New England taking on the Rams. Time for your Super Bowl prediction, CD. What do you think?
Well, everyone thinks defense when they think the New England Patriots, but in the time that they've had their head coach and their quarterback Tom Brady, guess what? They're the #1 offensive team in the NFL. And you know the Rams are high flyers as well. So that tells me that this Super Bowl, low scoring. It's going to be a total anomaly. I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of 13-10 final score, going totally opposite what it should be.
Wow, I'm going to completely disagree. I see high scoring, maybe 51-44, something like that. The two punters, so Johnny Hecker and Ryan Allen, don't even show up to this one.
Johnny Hecker might throw a touchdown pass because you know the Rams like to fake it when he's on the field.
Brees, a quick throw out to Thomas. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Ready? Yellow lady.
Ain't no such thing as a loss. We taking wins.
Now Brees on third down. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the second time. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The AFC offense making their way back out. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. Connor on first down, working his way forward for about 4 yards. Second down coming up. The Panthers' Luke Kuechly there on the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The all-pro linebacker Luke Kuechly right there on the coverage, stride for stride.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Mahomes now to throw. Sets up the screen to Gordon. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. Tariq Cohen of the Bears back deep for the NFC. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the NFC will take over 1st and 10. The NFC offense heading back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
Brees and the NFC come up now with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. Brees going to throw. They'll wind up with 3 yards out of that, and it's 2nd down. We mentioned the history of this game, the Pro Bowl. Of course, for many folks our age, the Pro Bowl always meant a trip to Hawaii. You know, they held it there from 80 till 09, and again for a handful of years in this decade before the last 3 being here in Orlando.
And there's something to be said, no doubt about it, for getting to go to Hawaii. Imagine being named a Pro Bowler and going home and telling your family, we're headed to Hawaii for a vacation. But think about going to Orlando, especially if you've got kids. All the theme parks, all the great things to do, plus not nearly as long a flight no matter where you come from in the United States. I think it's a big deal and a good thing to have it here in Orlando.
Yellow lady.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. I don't think Gurley got there. Looks like the defense held him back. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack, but I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone. And into the offensive backfield, he's a heck of a player.
And there, a big TFL, tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back. He's bred this big defensive tackle.
And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the AFC will take over 1st and 10. Back out is the AFC offense. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a 1st down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a 1st down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They start with a give to counter. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Right back to Connor here on 1st. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. You look back a few years ago, Charles, when the Pro Bowl did that 3-year experimentation. I know you're a traditionalist. You like AFC versus NFC.
Yes, I do.
But for the games 2014, 15, and 16, they tried something a little different. They held essentially a fantasy draft for players. Year 1, it was Jerry Rice, Deion Sanders as captains. Year 2, Michael Irvin and Chris Carter. And then in year 3, Michael Irvin again matching up against Jerry Rice.
And one common denominator, every single one of those guys with a gold jacket, all of them in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So they didn't ask you and I to be the captains and make the picks. And by the way, the playmaker, Michael Irvin, went 2-0. And you know,
well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Brett Kern now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Brees in the NFC come up now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. He was taken down by the Texans' Jadeveon Clowney. Charles, this the 2019 Pro Bowl. The AFC's won both games that have been played here in Orlando since they moved it here. Both have been competitive, 20-13 2 seasons ago, and the last year in 2018 it was 24-23 the final.
Yeah, and 2 years ago, Travis Kelce, Lorenzo Alexander were the game MVPs, offense and defense respectively. And then last year, Delaney Walker of the Titans, their tight end, he won it on offense. And Von Miller of the Broncos won it on defense. Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, we're going to sell the go. Just go, and let's see who's faster.
And he will find his Saints teammate Michael Thomas complete. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Throwing on 1st down is Brees. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
To throw again on second down. Brees, and complete to Zach Ertz. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 27 yards there, a first down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. This will be their first trip to the red zone. They come up 1st and 10 at the 16. They try right side here. Gurley's got the first down and then some. And he is in. Touchdown NFC. A 16-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. So the NFC with our first touchdown of the game. And, of course, we'll probably see some offense in this one. I don't know, though, that we'll see what we saw in 2013 when the NFC posted 62 points.
You talk about pyrotechnics. That was crazy, even for a Pro Bowl. 62 points. I think you wore out your voice in that one talking about all the touchdowns that were scored.
I would love to see 63 or more, though, I got to tell you. All about offense in this thing.
Pro Bowl offense. Let's go.
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. His kick is good, and the NFC goes up 7-0. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays. And it's finished off by a Todd Gurley touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
That's it, baby. We go first.
The AFC offensive unit getting set to take over and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. A second-time Pro Bowler here. This is the Chargers' Melvin Gordon. Aaron Donald, Defensive Player of the Year for the Rams, there on the stop. When you think about the history of this Pro Bowl game, there was an all-star game going all the way back to 1939, but it officially became called the Pro Bowl in, I think, 1951.
You're exactly right. And that game was played out in L.A., in the same stadium where the LA Rams currently play. And back then they split it into conferences, the American Conference versus the National Conference. The American Conference won 28-27. MVP of the game, quarterback Otto Graham. Nickname, Automatic. Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They'll try and run for it with Connor. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. And he cannot get rid of it. The NFC getting in there for the sack. Khalil Mack picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed in this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Looking to throw is Mahomes. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. On the counter, here's Gordon. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Kyle Fuller of the Bears up to make the tackle. Well, we've talked about this game being hosted here in Orlando, and you and I are quite familiar with this place, especially you. You live, what, 20, 25 minutes from here?
Yeah, not bad at all, right? An easy trip to come right to the studios here in Orlando. You, of course, have to give a little bit more effort, a quick flight, then you're here, but you've learned this city quite well. And how about it, the Madden Studios right here in Orlando? That's where Coach and the guys hang out as well.
16 yards, a 1st down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Mahomes now already over 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Now they run from the gun with Gordon. Bobby Wagner of Seattle, he'll get credited for the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
On 2nd and 7, Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. This will be their first trip to the red zone. They've got it 1st and goal to go.
36.
They'll run here with counter, and he will possibly get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. On the other hand, it will definitely take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Mahomes going to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. CD, with that incompletion, let's talk AFC playoff picture. I think you and I agree that if you put together any sort of power rankings, we'd put Baltimore #1, certainly in the AFC. But you look ahead to the playoffs getting started on January 4th. Who do you see as their main competitor for that Lamar Hunt trophy?
Well, tradition and us not wanting to be wrong dictates that we say New England next. And rightly so, because of the number of Lombardi trophies they've won, how they've always played at this time of year. But the bottom line to me is the prime contenders right now for Baltimore, Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes has got it together and the defense is playing better. And Buffalo really showed me something when they beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh on a Sunday night in Week 15.
Brees in the NFC come up now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. This thrown quickly out to Jones. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Receiver downfield. Offense.
That's on the Pro Bowl guard from Notre Dame, Zach Martin.
Still first down.
The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touch. Now Brees lost the football, and that's picked up by the AFC. And he is going to bring this one back. A fumble return for an AFC touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The offense for the NFC back out there. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
Brees in the NFC come up now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Jones has it. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of 2 there, second down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything, so it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
On 2nd and 12, Brees, and his throw's going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowl tight end Zach Ertz, the intended target, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a 1st down. Well, he was so good throwing the football on 3rd down during the regular season. Why wouldn't it carry over here to the Pro Bowl?
Sometimes that's just who you are, right? If you're good at something during, as you said, during the regular season, so what if it's with a bunch of guys you're unfamiliar with? It's 3rd down, he finds a way to convert.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now Brees again. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. On the counter, Gurley. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
The numbers for the NFC on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now a play fake. Brees. Open man is Michael Thomas. And that's going to move the sticks again here as the tackle's made at the AFC's 34-yard line.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Brees. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Big series right here. We got to step it up.
This complete to Jones. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Ready. Yellow lady, yellow lady. Watch tight end, watch tight end. Tight right. Hey. You got 3.
On 1st and 10, here's Brees. He gets it to Thomas. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
The numbers for the NFC on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Brees. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Second and goal from the 6 this time.
Check, 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 check. Check, check, check.
Now Brees. And he held on to it too long. A coverage sack. Down he goes. The lightning rod, J.J. Watt with a sack.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Third and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. Working from the gun, it's Brees. That's caught, it's Thomas. 10 yards gets him closer, but now it's 4th and goal. Well, you know, it's hard for some of these guys to get on the same page because they've only been practicing together for a week, but these two, I think they're pretty familiar.
I would say so, right? You go back to OTAs, mini camps, preseason camp, games, the whole deal. They ought to know each other pretty well, and in an all-star game like this, key situations, you find someone like that who you know will be exactly where you think they're supposed to be.
On 4th down, here's Aldrick Rosas for the NFC field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And the kick by Rosas is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7.
Well, no surprise there. Extremely reliable during the regular season. Bailed his team out time and again. Knocks another one through, this time in the Pro Bowl.
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Patrick Mahomes in the AFC ready to go on offense. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And here's a throw that's taken in by the tight end Cook. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Oh, he nearly picked it. Maybe daylight in front of him if he could have held on. Instead, 2nd down. Well, with that incompletion, you know, Charles, one of the big storylines in the final few weeks of the season lies in the AFC South. Tennessee and Houston battling back and forth. Houston won round 1, week 15, a victory in Nashville. But which of those two teams do you think has the potential to go deeper in the playoffs?
Well, Tennessee just lost at home to Houston.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Able to get this to Gordon. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down.
Usually the offense has an answer to anything a defense throws at them, including a safety valve. And that's what they did on that play. They went there, but the defense still made an excellent play and held them to no gain.
Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for the AFC. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the NFC will take over deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Brees in the NFC come up now with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Shotgun now for Brees. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now the leading rusher in the league, Ezekiel Elliott of the Cowboys, his 2nd Pro Bowl. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Thomas, the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, You've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Now Brees on third down. It's caught. Jones. A very solid gain of 27.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Brees now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Back to the ground, this time with Gurley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The numbers for the NFC on 3rd down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. To throw is Brees. Looking deep for Julio. And this is taken in at the 5. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. What a first half this has been offensively. I mean, defensively, what do you do when you're getting torched like this?
Now, these receivers are absolutely wearing them out. So 2 thoughts come to mind. 1, get some oxygen. You can fill up your lungs a little bit. And number 2, talk to your guys up front. You need a pass rush to help slow them down.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. And he will carry this one in. Touchdown, NFC. Drew Brees scoring on a 2-yard keeper. And the NFC adds on to their lead. Offensively, pretty effective option play there for the score.
Certainly was, and it appeared to me that the defense overshifted and overplayed the trail back, the pitch man, and almost forgot about the quarterback. In fact, they did forget about the quarterback, and he turned it into a touchdown.
Roses to add the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Roses on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The AFC offense making their way back out. They find themselves down 17-7 as they start this drive, 1st and 10. Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 21. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Well, let's get back to the playoff picture. We talked about the AFC. Let's look at the NFC. That race starting to come into focus. We know most of the teams. Seahawks, 49ers, Saints, and Packers all in. Vikings in good shape. How do you handicap this race? It seems like anyone can beat anyone.
I think you're spot on, because if you were going into the playoffs with these teams that we're going to talk about, who would you make the absolute favorite? It could be anyone, right? It could be Seattle. It could be San Francisco. It could be New Orleans. I know Minnesota's probably going to come in as a wild card. Green Bay will come in as a division champ, it looks like. But bottom line is, Dallas or Philadelphia's got to win the NFC East. And I don't know that anyone wants to go to their home field and play when they have to play in a divisional game. So when you get it all together, and maybe that would be a wild card, I would guess, because they'd be the 4th team in. But when you put it all together, it is absolutely wide open about who wins the NFC and represents for the Lombardi Trophy. Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
Mahomes now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10.
I got
They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. Bobby Wagner of Seattle, he'll get credited for the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up, because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
You better bring it. You better bring it. I'm letting you know right.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Gets this one to Hill. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Let's go.
Mahomes finding his fellow Chief Hill for the AFC 1st down.
Did you see that route the way that I did? I thought he was trying to get deep.
Yeah, that wasn't the first option.
No, it came off of that guy, the deep guy, and came underneath on the drag, completed it very well.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now Mahomes. And he finds his Chiefs teammate, Travis Kelce. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. A give running right is counter. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The AFC thus far on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 8. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Khalil Mack picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Here's Brett Kern now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate him.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley of Baltimore with a tackle. That's something we saw over and over again in Barkley's rookie season. He had 91 catches last year, most ever by a rookie running back, part of a fantastic rookie campaign that saw him go over 2,000 total yards.
Get set, get set.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. This pass into the hands of the running back, Todd Gurley.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Ready? 5-9.
Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
From the gun on third down, Brees. And Thomas has it. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And luckily, one of his teammates able to fall on it, so the NFC will hang on to the football. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Brees now to throw. Trying to lay one up. That's caught at the 25. That one goes for 36 yards. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
To throw, it's Brees. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. Now the NFC going to call the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Again, they'll throw with Brees. And he will score. Touchdown, NFC. From 4 yards out. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Roses now to add the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it's finished off by an NFC touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Back out is the AFC offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Yellow. Oh, here we go.
Mahomes now on first down. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time. And now it's second down. Well, Charles, while we have a second, we talked about the NFC playoff picture, but I wanted to get your thoughts on a hot topic right now in NFL circles. That's awarding a home game to every division winner, regardless of record. It's happened twice in this decade that we've seen a 7-9 team in Seattle get a home game and a 7-8-1 Carolina team get one. Where do you stand on this? Because there's a scenario where you could have a 13-win team from the NFC West traveling to face an 8-win team from the NFC East.
I know I'm a dinosaur on this one. Absolutely. I love the division champ getting a home game. I don't care what the record is, and I know it sounds wrong, and we're in this society now where everything has to be fair and right. And we would like that, and I would like that too for most big topics. But in sports, it's actually kind of cool when these things happen. Remember, Seattle at 7-9 hosted the defending Super Bowl champs New Orleans and beat them. That big Marshawn Lynch run that we'll remember forever. Carolina 7-8-1, they actually lost at home in their playoff game. So you don't know how it's going to turn. I like division champs winning it and getting a home game, even when the records are kind of messed up.
I'm with you. You're making me smile.
How about that? You and I sitting in the home, two old dudes going, that's the way it ought to be.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Here comes Cohen. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again on offense, we get a peek at Julio Jones now. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defenses, getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
Ready to begin their next drive here, the NFC offense. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You've got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. Here's Brees to throw, and this is going to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been terrific so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The offense for the AFC set to go now. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
So we've reached halftime of the 2019 Pro Bowl with the NFC on top, as we'll send you across town to our studios here in Orlando and check in with the coach at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
The NFC looking to rewrite a little history as they lead this 2019 Pro Bowl at the break. Now remember, they've lost both of the previous Pro Bowls played here in Orlando. But maybe, just maybe, this is the one to break the streak. A lot still to play for in the second half as we go back to Camping World Stadium and Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The AFC offense now set to start this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this
you're going to do that? I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense and at times will actually make checks just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Brett Kern now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the NFC heading out for their first drive of the second half. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Brees and the NFC come up now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. From the gun, it's Brees. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A good pickup there, a 22. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. They'll try the right side with Elliott. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Von Miller of the Broncos there to get him down. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his 2nd rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. Now a man open down the middle of the field. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on for the 5th time here today. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The AFC offensive unit getting set to take over. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. It's Connor as they stay on the ground. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
I think they want to start getting back into this game. It behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go.
Mahomes going to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Travis Kelce, the all-pro tight end, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion. Well, the NFC pressure a little too much as they get home for the sack. Give the sack to Fletcher Cox.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for the AFC. Uses the spin. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the NFC will take over 1st and 10. The NFC offense heading back onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Brees and the NFC come up now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. Time to establish the run game here. Gurley. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Gurley again here on 1st down. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Here we go, here we go.
They'll wind up with 3 yards out of that, and it's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
5-8, 5-8.
Watching your eyes. Come on. You better bring it.
Now a draw play for Gurley. Well, still about 3 yards shy of a 1st as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert, but right now looking at a 3rd and 3. Brees going to throw. And that is incomplete.
You got it. You got it.
You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And that is no good. Hit it well from distance, but he couldn't work it back in. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
The AFC offense making their way back out. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now they're set up nicely at the 45-yard line after the missed field goal from 55. They'll try and get the ground game going. Here's Gordon. The Panthers' Luke Kuechly there on the tackle.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
That's what I do.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mahomes. He finds Hopkins complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Mahomes now to throw, and he's got a man open. That's Allen. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a first down for them, too.
Mahomes now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Watch out, watch out, watch out.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Here we go, here we go. Check, 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 check.
They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and they're going to have a 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And that will be incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the posts. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
And because they couldn't hit the long field goal, they are set up nicely offensively at the 41, 1st and 10. Now it's Gurley. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Ready? 5-9. 5-5. Here we go, team. Here I come. Here I come.
Check 52.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And Elliott trying to work his way forward, but it looks like he did not make it. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Back out is the AFC offense. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. Khalil Mack of the Bears, the one to make the tackle.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. On 2nd down now, it's Gordon. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing now is Mahomes. He sets to fire deep. And this is caught at the 20. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a 1st down. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a 1st down in the red zone. Working from the gun, Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or 2. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
Yellow!
Man, I got you.
Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. And it's complete to Kelsey. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now here's Mahomes. Going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Akeem Hicks at 6'5", 332 finds his way home for the sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
They'll try again on second and goal after going backwards to the 12. Here's Mahomes to throw. It's complete to Hopkins. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a third and goal situation. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. To throw, it's Mahomes. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So now fourth and goal. You're trailing by a decent amount here. What are you doing, Coach Davis?
Well, I've got to think to myself, just how many more opportunities am I going to have this close and have this chance? I've got to go for it right here. The clock's dwindling on me. Let's go get it done.
So on fourth down, out comes Jason Myers for the AFC field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Myers able to knock it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
And now let's discuss Julio Jones. Let's see here, Charles. 6 catches, over 100 yards. Call that a pretty good day at the office.
And I love the accumulation, the catches, the yardage. That means he's having a pretty good impact on this ball game and really helping his team out in a big way.
Means he wants the football again, right?
And it's funny because some of these receivers are very vocal about how much they're getting it. Others are quieter, but they still let you know, give me the ball, I'm going to make a play.
Brees in the NFC come up now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They run. It's Gurley. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
You ready? Here we go, here we go. Watch tight end. Watch tight end.
On the draw, this is Barkley. And an alley to run. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now Gurley. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Let him know.
Play action. Brees. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Throwing now is Brees. He gets it to Thomas. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. On is Aldrick Roses for the NFC field goal. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And this one is right down Broadway. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25.
Let's go.
The AFC offensive unit getting set to take over. And it's great to see the stars all out in one place, but in terms of football, what's really great to see is a very entertaining Pro Bowl as we are tied in the 4th quarter.
And how many of these guys thought going into this game, after a pretty easy week heading into it, that the pressure would ratchet up now and someone has to make a play, which means someone will have a play made against them and not have to live with that for the rest of the year.
Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And a loose football. And it's scooped up by the NFC.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The offense for the NFC back out there. And as it looks right now, granted you have to include the years where the legends pick the squads, but this NFC team is going to have a chance to come away victorious for the first time since January of 2013.
It's almost going to be like you hear in college. We hear the chant of SEC all the time because they take such great pride in their conference. I think you hear the NFC chant coming from those guys on the sidelines now. Would you say the first time since 2013? That's a long time for these guys, and they've taken a lot of ribbing from those guys in the AFC.
On first down, it's Gurley. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Now Saquon Barkley. Showed off the juke, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6-yard line. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. He had no options downfield there and just chucked it out of bounds.
There was no one open. He was in the pocket. Where was the intentional grounding call?
Oh, you wanted the flag?
Of course I did. I'm a defensive guy. You know that. Where was the flag? The officials point out that someone was in the area. He got away with one.
And Rosas puts this one through. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the field goal, here's Rosas to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
The AFC offense making their way back out. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And he gets it to his KC running mate. That's Tyreek Hill. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes sets up the screen to Gordon. The 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on 3rd?
You gonna see me in your nightmare. That's right.
Now Mahomes. And he's completion to Hopkins. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Mahomes finding Hopkins for the AFC first. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Fight on these two. Fight on these two. Go on,
54. Watch 54. Get him. Get him. Get him.
right.
On first down, Mahomes. They complete it to Hill. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Mahomes firing complete, and this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
That's another AFC first down. First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Mahomes will bring him up first and 10, and he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. He'll look to throw. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. That one good for 16 as the drive continues. On the delayed handoff, this is Gordon. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, second and 2.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
At the 17-yard line.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's second and 2. Second and 2. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. He'll drop to throw, and he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Mahomes throwing on 4th. And it is incomplete. The AFC went for it, and it doesn't work out. And as a result, possession switches hands. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. And the stats on the screen tell the story. A great start. This defense, they made some good adjustments, so he's fallen off since.
Have to like what they did at the half, but you also have to like the fact that they hung in there. Despite the fact they had a tough first half, he was locked in, right? Rocking and rolling. They came out, made their adjustments, got their confidence back. Now they're causing them all sorts of trouble.
They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. Credit the tackle to the Texans' middle linebacker, Benardrick McKinney. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here comes a 20th carry for Gurley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw him through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. Von Miller of the Broncos there to get him down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Ready, 95, 56. 26.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 7 yards there and a first down.
I know we're in the era of wide-open football, a lot of spread formations, more space, but there's still a spot for power football. We just saw some of it right there. How about that run?
Yeah, breaking the tackle, and, you know, late in this game, he wants the football in his hands. He's had a good day. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Here's Gurley. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
Yellow lady, watch the car, watch the car.
They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. I don't think Gurley got there. Looks like the defense held him back. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
Now the Pro Bowl kicker, Aldrick Rosas. Last year, he hit one from 57. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this won't get there. Won't be on line either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is.
Let's go, baby.
Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Back out is the AFC offense. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Bobby Wagner of Seattle. He'll get credited for the tackle.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. On 2nd and 9, Mahomes throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Travis Kelce, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended target, and that'll make it 3rd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The AFC went for it, and it doesn't work out. And the NFC is going to get the football back in excellent field position. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? All right, you want to go for it here? We shut you down. They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
The NFC offense heading back onto the field. And I tell you what, the AFC continuing their good run of form the last few years. They're on their way to making it 3 straight wins here at the Pro Bowl.
So what they're telling us by their play is that it actually does mean something, doesn't it? We always say, the Pro Bowl, what does it actually mean? There is pride in their conference, and the AFC showing their pride in a big way over the last few seasons.
This thrown quickly out to Jones. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Shotgun now for Brees. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. They run out of the shotgun with Gurley. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for the NFC. The AFC offensive unit getting set to take over. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory. but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it. Be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own side.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. That throw into the arms of Allen, and he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
Throwing again on second down. Mahomes, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's Luke Kuechly with a sack.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack for Mahomes and company. They'll give it to Gordon out of the shotgun. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Mahomes going to go on 4th down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Getting set to go again on offense, we get a peek at Julio Jones now. He's been a load for them to handle defensively, I know that much.
But look at him. He's got 7 catches on the game, and he's starting to shred them a little bit because not only is he catching them, he's picking up good yardage, keeping the chains moving, ball control, you name it. This big guy, what did you say? He's been a load for them to handle?
That's right.
Agreed.
This 7 catches, as you said, over 100 yards. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He completes it to Jones. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. And that's picked up by the AFC. And he is going to bring this one back. A fumble return for an AFC touchdown. So hold the phone here, Charles. I'd kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved.
So we've got a challenge. Our referee's going to take another look on the tablet. He's going to be watching to see if the knee was down prior to the ball coming out.
Oh, I love what you just said there. You nailed it, because if the ball's shifting or moving before the knee or any other part of the body hits the ground, then that'll be considered a fumble.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Ready.
The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started. They're right back out there after watching the fumble go the other way. Still in control of this game, but that needs to serve as a wake-up call because they're not in the clear yet.
No, the message should be clear that fortunes can change pretty quickly when you turn the ball over. You've got to take care of it, otherwise that lead could slip away quickly.
So it's the NFC with the football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be giving a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Brees, a quick throw out to Thomas. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8 at their 49-yard line.
Ready? 95-56, 95-56. So we got man.
Gurley. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
So, Charles, a victory for the NFC. Final thoughts on this Pro Bowl?
We had some fun, didn't we?
Absolutely.
A lot of excitement, some big plays to watch, a lot of those great matchups that we don't get to see during the regular season because sometimes teams don't play against each other. And, oh, by the way, no one got hurt. There's the win for everyone. I think the fans enjoyed this one.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. So long, everybody.